Agency owners have a ton to think about every single day, from serving clients to growing the business, leading the team, etc., etc. Then there's the back office grind. Things like reconciling commissions, payroll, tax prep, HR compliance, blah, blah, blah. It's all necessary, but incredibly time consuming. That's where our friends and partners over at Agency Point come in to help. Agency Point specializes in all the details agencies can't afford to ignore: accounting, tax, HR, and legal. They can even handle commission reconciliation so that nothing slips through the cracks. And if you've heard us talk, you know that this is one of the most important things that agencies must do. By managing the back office essentials, they free up agency leaders and their leadership team to focus on strategy, growth, and clients. An agency that works with them told us, Agency Point gave me back 10 hours a week. And now I spend that time building my business, knowing the foundation is solid. If you're looking for a trusted partner who can help lighten the load without competing for your strategy seat, check out Agency Point.
A roadblock, a no, gets you closer to the yes. If you look at that no as feedback of like, okay, well, why? And if you fix that part of the funnel or like whatever it is, it's going to be so valuable. So it's just a mindset shift of like, oh, they didn't like it. That's amazing if they're going to still talk to me.
Welcome to the Insurance Refocused podcast, where we're highlighting real agent stories and how they are innovating to respond to the changes and challenges happening in the independent insurance industry. My name's Lindsay, and I can't wait to introduce you to my amazing co-host, who just so happens to be my mom, Carey Wallace. Mom, how you doing today?
I'm having a good day, Lindsay. This has been one of the Mondays I've ever had in my career, I think. But I've survived the Monday of all. How about you? How's your day going?
I have not had a Monday as you, but it was a pretty good day. I feel like today was one of those days where I sat down and I worked all day, but I honestly could not tell you really what I did, but things got done. You know what I mean? It's one of those days.
I do know. A good day is when you have the list and the list gets shorter during the day, but most of the time I cross things off and the list still gets bigger, which, that sounds like your day. It's all good. Everything's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. Well, thankfully we can end our day here with a fun podcast and hopefully make a new friend. Today we have Alan from Relatively Six joining us to talk about helping businesses start up and what his business experience has been this far. Alan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate it. Carey, good to see you. Thank you so much for having me. You guys have such an awesome little routine. Sorry to interrupt it. That was great.
Just complaining about our Mondays. Yeah, it's so great.
It's funny, Alan. Sometimes it's the only time I get to catch up with Lindsay during the day. So I love when we have a podcast and we can actually find out what's happening in the world, what's happening in her world, and have a little levity in our day also. So we're glad that you're here to join us. Yeah,
that's great. I would love to start a podcast with my mom, but I think the fighting would be too much. But a good idea in theory. But I love that you guys are doing it. It's awesome.
Yeah. You never know. That might be an amazing next thing for you to try out, right? Would your mom be game, do you think?
Oh, yeah. She's asked me multiple times, but...
oh, really? Yeah. What would your podcast be about?
So she teaches languages, so it would be some sort of language-related thing. But okay. I think she can do it with way smarter people than me, so she needs to figure that out for herself. But anyways.
My mom could have done this podcast with people that were way, way smarter than me. But she told me how she hard sold me on this podcast is that I need someone that'll ask the question that's everyone's thinking. So basically she was like, I need someone that's dumber than me in order to come on and be ask the dumb questions.
That was not at all what happened. You are hearing that wrong. I needed someone brave enough to ask the questions that are on the minds of everyone, but they don't ask it. So Give me a break, Lindsay. You got to be kidding me. Dumber. I would never use the word dumber. Alan, here's the thing. We're going to move off podcast, but I would tell you life is short. If your mother wants to start a podcast with you, I'd say start the podcast.
Okay, you're right.
You're going to have so much fun.
Do it.
You're going to have so much. And we would listen. I would tell you, you're going to do it. So.
Okay.
But how about this? Why don't you tell me, you sound to me like someone who has lots of ideas. You sound to me like someone who thinks really big. I would love to know what led you to the current company that you are running, because you've run multiple companies. So give me a little bit of what drove you there.
Wow. I mean, why don't we can start in the current company, which I was joking with you guys earlier, but it's the longest I've ever done anything is this company. So we're coming up on a decade. And really the catalyst for it was interesting. So I was at MIT going to grad school, and this is like over a decade ago when AI was still very like foreign to people, weren't that many use cases, and did a lot of research around what can we do with this really cool technology. And it's more like a research project that kind of spun out into a company not with no real direction, but understanding that AI was very powerful, which is not a good way to start a company, by the way. It's like the opposite of how you should do it. I started with an technology and tried to find a use case, which was all wrong. Like, you're really supposed to actually like understand an industry and then solve a problem.
Like maybe find the problem and then solve the problem, but instead you're like, I found a super cool solution.
Too easy, Carey. Why would I do that? So it was because of that terrible mistake. We spent many years searching for use cases. That was kind of the problem, right? And it was so early that you really needed super innovative people to actually take a flyer and try things. And then, so I was very early in the AI adoption game at the enterprise level. And we're talking like companies like literally companies that would sell private jets to major retailers in Latin America. It didn't really matter. It's just like, if you're a big company and you have a lot of customer data, give it to me. I'll do some AI on it and then like give it back to you. And will you pay me for that? That's obviously oversimplified, but like kind of that. It was like, what kind of interesting insights can we get based on leveraging your transaction data with AI? So, which again, terrible. It took way too long, but finally found a home in insurance because insurance has a lot of data. Insurance cares a lot about, at the time, customer retention was kind of one of our big use cases. And we've kind of found our way into underwriting use cases, mainly around industry classification. So what is it that a company actually does? Ended up being like our aha moment of, okay, this is like a really important question that mainly like small commercial underwriters have. And at the time, and in general, it's just hard to know what a 2-person company without a web presence is really doing. And then assigning a 6-digit NAICS code to them sounds simple, but there's 1,000 6-digit NAICS codes. So it ends up being a huge problem. And then on top of that, they usually an insurance carrier will get that wrong 50% of the time. So then there's this thing called premium leakage, and they're losing all this. And then they're not giving the right coverage. It's just a mess. And it's a foundational question that's not answered yet in the industry, which is crazy.
Right.
But once you dig in, you understand why it's so hard. And then you have the obviously distribution layer coming in and owning the customer and, actually filling out the applications and the forms and all the wonderful fun workflows that happen in the insurance industry. So we really focused on being a point solution there. And really, I mean, I'm putting like quotations on this, like really quickly found customers in this use case. But really, we're able to get massive insurance carrier customers and MGAs to leverage our API and then expand it out into other like really important data, like underwriting data points from there. So that's really our company, is the trying to be the end all be all third party data provider for underwriters. Knowing that there's no such thing as a perfect data set or perfect data, we try to bring as much information as we can from sources and look for like gaining consensus and try to do it the right way. But that's our company. And so, yeah, we work mainly in insurance and have a lot of also like lending customers as well of similar use cases.
So
Yeah.
the underwriter is the target. Is that correct?
I would say they're one of the primary users, for sure, but not the only. But that's where we found a home, is in the underwriting world. Yes.
And have the other companies that you have worked with, have they all been data companies where you're looking at big data sets, or what have other companies you've done really look at?
Yeah. So our other customers of ours,
Yeah.
Lindsay.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
because you've been a founder of other companies before
Oh,
Relatively Six,
my
right?
other companies.
Yes.
Yes.
So wait, sorry. What? Sorry. What about my other companies? Sorry, I missed that, Lindsay.
Were they all
Data related.
yes.
Okay, got it. And no, definitely not.
Okay.
So yeah. So first company I started was out of college. It was realizing that there's like all these like services around like in college towns and kids wanting those services, but no way to like no platform to connect them. So I built a platform that did that and scaled it to 30 schools while I was still in school. And then I ran it for a few more years after and sold that company to like a bigger version of a company that did that. So that was my first one. And then I spent, I'm just going to give you my resume out
I
loud
can't
for.
Do
wait.
it. Do it.
Yes.
And then I was like, I decided that I wanted to get into tech, and it was really interesting. And like all these big tech companies were sprouting up. So I ended up working at Google pretty early days, and ended up working there for about, it's like 5 years. Really, so it was like, right after they went public, it was really like a cool time to kind of be in that Bay Area for that. And this is where it starts getting crazy. I then went back to Boston, which is where I'm from, and was one of the founders of a candy company. So it was like a good for you candy.
Cool.
Basically, it's supposed to taste like Snickers and Reese's and M&Ms and all that, but be better for you and sustainably sourced ingredients and all that good stuff. It's called Unreal Candy.
Oh
It was pretty
yeah.
cool. You've heard of Unreal? Yeah.
Yeah. Unreal is like a big brand now.
I mean, it had its, it was actually much bigger when we launched. We were in 30,000 stores day
Oh
one.
my.
Wow.
And then, realized how hard retail really was and had to scale down and rebrand and all that. But yeah, so did that for a little while. And then, so if you're familiar with that company, it was actually one of our like main strategies was get like celebrities and athletes and stuff to invest and endorse. Ended up, I guess, like befriending a few of this was in Boston, a lot of Patriots, New England Patriots players. And I ended up, once I left the company, working with one of them, basically like creating like a platform for him to connect to his fans. This is like influencer stuff, but like pre what that was, because the insight was he was on his like rookie deal, not making a lot of money on the field or off the field. So it was like, can we create platforms where there's like millions of people who know who you are and sell them stuff, right? Like, and create content. I know this is like sounds like I'm like so like old saying this, but like literally we were doing this in 2012 and 13. So like really early days of and the player ended up being really good. So that ended up becoming a pretty big company of like representing athletes and then helping them monetize their
That's very
brands.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Can I make you feel better with the old comment just for a second? Because I worked in a startup company that I'm just going to describe it to you because it's kind of hilarious now. They made a hands-free voice activated body worn computer. And
Wow.
the problem that they solved
Yeah.
was you need to go into the field. It was a government contracted funded, but then became a for-profit. Go into the field and fix a tank, but you need the schematics and you need it with your hands free. So you need to be able to voice pull up what you need, look
Yeah.
at so solving a problem with that, or up a telephone pole, or wherever you need your hands. You needed at the same time, I mean, you realize a voice activated body worn computer is an iPhone today. Like that's the reality, right? Or or a watch or whatever, right? But at my time, it was the same time that I owned a bag phone. So
Well,
the
there you go.
technology wasn't there. Like
Right.
it just wasn't there. So when I say that, I feel like, oh my goodness, it was the Jetsons of its time,
Totally.
but yet we live in the Jetsons time today. So
Exactly.
who the hell knew, right?
Right. It's a relic of the past, but
Definitely, yeah.
but we were like, to that point, we were just on trend, and it actually did really, really well. And then I ended up going to MIT, first as like, they call like entrepreneur in residence, basically like sit there in their office and just help kids commercialize their stuff. And that was really fun and refreshing, and ended up going to the business school after that. Not planned, just was like, well, why not? Let me try this. And I'm glad I did. It was fun. And actually, I mean, they say you don't learn anything in business school, and it's mostly true. But I did I really leaned in, and it was fun. And like, I really like networked and got to know a lot of different people, and was interested in newer technologies stuff. And that's why I got into the AI thing. And here we are, yada, 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 10 years later. And gray hair everywhere. Somehow. Like,
so when you were doing the MIT position where you were helping students take their ideas to the next level, tell us a bit about what that was like. Like, what were you actually helping them with?
Honestly, everything and anything. And like, I was actually talking to my wife about this yesterday. It's really not appropriate, but like, literally, like, there were like 4 different startups doing like toilet analysis. Like, there's actually a lot of data in excrement, so and feces. So like, there's just so much information. And so these companies were like analyzing it right there. Like, so anything
like an
from
Oura ring for your toilet.
Exactly. Literally. So it was just crazy how much information there is, to like kids creating like a bracelet that cooled your whole body, to, there's like, every day was like cool, crazy, like robots that made food that like actually got sold to Sweet Greens. And a lot of these companies, were started by brilliant people, and were getting attention of massive brands. And like, it was cool. Like, you were really, I was helping them from like day one stuff of like,
Cool.
Like, define your customers, and like, how are you as like a co-founding team gonna be, and like, what does it all look like, all the logistics of launching, taking it from zero to like out in market. That's where my interests are. So it's fun to help all these people. So yeah.
As I'm listening to you, and you're obviously a serial entrepreneur, and you've got, again, super big thinker. When you think about
Appreciate that.
what you for sure, there's no question about it. And listen, a lot of our listeners are entrepreneurs. They're running their own business. They're figuring out what their niche is, how they're going to focus, how they're going to build their team, how they're going to leverage technology, etc. I guess my question to you is, of the things we're talking about that you have done, what is the thing that you're most proud of?
Wow. That's hard. I think this, because of there were many, many times where it probably made sense to quit, like, truly. And, and I have before, right? There's a reason this is the longest thing I've ever done, is like, I've taken the outs when it started hurting. And I feel like with this one, it's hurt. So like, there's been so like much pain and it's with any business, right? Like, so much pain with actually like doing it and continue like getting up again the next day when it was terrible. And so just the like being able to move and like pivot the way that we have through all these like technological waves, like all the people that we've worked with, like company, like working with major companies and all the drama related to that. Just happy with the grind, like the perseverance of this. It's in no way glamorous, and I've stuck with it, and I'm proud of myself for that, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. But AI's changed. So when you started this, you're talking 10 years. And I get it. Like I'm going to sound not very intelligent when I say this, but it has surged recently, although AI has been around for a really long time. How did that shift? Because I know plenty of entrepreneurs that are way before their time, and it's a brilliant idea. They're solving a problem, but they can't get adoption because the average person isn't ready to take the leap. Was that something that catapulted this forward, or did it actually create more competition and make it even harder? What was the experience?
Great question. It's a great question, and it's both.
Oh, really?
It's both because call it ChatGPT 4, which is when everything changed, not 3.5. 4 was like, I'll never forget the day when like I started playing with like 4. A lot of swearing that day. But so pre that, what we did was incredibly special, and like we built our own version of OpenAI ourselves. Like it was all foundational models that we had that we were using. And that made us special, and that's great. And that helped us, I think, acquire the customers that we needed to initially. But what's really cool, and another thing I'm really proud of, is we didn't shy away from the new technology. We were actually like really curious about it and embraced it really early and leveraged that. And actually that helped make our product even better and helped us actually create new products, and continues to like really quickly. Like this is a superpower now of like actually like shipping interesting data points and problems that our current customers have. And we're lucky because we have a large customer base that we can draw on, and they can tell us what they want, and then we'll build it, right? And then they'll pay for it, and then it works because everyone's happy. And I feel fortunate to be in a position to like be on the inside of so many of these organizations so that I can quickly like create the thing that they need, and I'll be the one. So like I think bad at first, but then once we leaned in, huge advantage, and has like helped us grow exponentially, actually. So very grateful to it. It just was like definitely a gut punch initially. So
what's so funny about what you just said? So I think we are talking about one of the things that makes or breaks entrepreneurs. So lots of people can come up with ideas. Getting that idea to the market and actually solving problems is a whole nother talk show. But what you just described is, and then as the market shifts and changes, you have a choice. You can have an abundance mindset, or you can have a scarcity mindset. And scarcity is what we all literally knee jerk to, because I don't want anyone else here to threaten what I've got. But the moment your brain goes to an abundance mindset, it is so much bigger. But it's a defense mechanism. The reality is many people get caught in that scarcity mindset, and then all of a sudden it goes absolutely nowhere. So good for you. That's a hard thing to do. It's really hard,
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. And it's good because it's good for actually makes our customer, they're better for it. So
sure.
It's like an easy call once you start thinking through that lens. It's just so hard to do that initially. But
it's so hard, like so incredibly hard. Yeah.
It's a great question.
So, Alan, as you have been starting your own companies, working with the super smart people at MIT, trying all of these different ideas, how do you determine if an idea is going to work or not?
Yeah, I mean, what do I know? But I mean, it's as simple as like putting it out there. And I think like the worst thing you can do is theorize about anything. You'll get no information from like sitting in a room of people and talking it out. You'll get all the information from putting it out into the market and seeing the reaction to it. So at this point, I think the standard, because it's much easier to actually make stuff that's good and like production grade, um, are the people buying the thing or not? Like you have to hold yourself to that standard. And if they are, then it's working. If they aren't, it's not working. And then if it's not working, I think like the coolest mental switch to have is like truly like a roadblock, a no gets you closer to the yes. If you look at that no as feedback of like, okay, well, why? And if you fix that part of the funnel or like whatever it is, it's gonna be so valuable. So it's just a mindset shift of like, oh, they didn't like it. That's amazing if they're gonna still talk to me.
Yeah.
And that's really out a lot of like, ship it. It could suck. It should probably not be great, or else you waited too long, which is cliche, but I really feel that way. So I guess that's the standard, Lindsay, that I would hold myself to at this. If I was starting a new company,
Mm-hmm.
as the first thing I would do is put stuff out there for real and see like how the world reacts.
And maybe start with the problem in mind. I'm joking. That was a
What's
joke.
that? I missed that one.
Maybe start with the problem in mind instead of the solution.
I know. Well, yeah, I know. Well, here we are.
So tell me, Alan, what is the problem that you think your current, it very like elevator pitch? We're only in the elevator for 3 floors. What is the problem that your current company solves for agents or for underwriters?
For sure. I mean, I think the insurance industry, whether it's like agents or underwriters, they like their jobs are better with great data. The problem is getting great data is miserable and unreliable and expensive. And so we put it all into one platform that we give you all the stuff we know that you need because we work with the industry so long, and make it easy to access and pretty affordable. And it can be a platform, it can be an API, it can go into core systems, whatever it is. And yeah, it's simple. It's like you need to know revenue, employee count, location. Like there are all these things you need to know, like operations. And I'm not saying that Relativity 6 knows the answer, but we can bring all the people that think that they know the answer together and then do some reasoning in the background. And
you're saying you can source the data that you need to write insurance in one place in order to speed up that process and have it be accurate. Is that what you're saying?
Boom. Nailed it. Yeah, much better. Thank you.
What's the cost of something like this? Like if I'm an agent and I say, you know what, I'm tired of how long it takes us to move through the process. I want to invest in something that can make this faster for me. What is that range of costs that would be for me?
Yeah, it could be cents. It could be dollars. It depends on the types of things that you need, but it's not more than that. It's
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it ends up just being part of my quoting process. Is that correct?
Quoting process. It could do it for segmentation, for like understanding your customer base better, for prospecting, for mid-market. I think brokers, it's good for, research before making a phone call. And because it's basically like a dossier for any business, whether it be a 2-person HVAC company or like a larger tech company. It doesn't matter. We kind of have it all.
All right. I have one more question. I swear to God. I know I've dominated this. I love people that think outside the box. I will tell you that. So I know for sure that you spent 10 years on something, and I get it. You're all in. But many people don't leave the company they're at because they don't know what's next.
Right.
I'm just going to ask you, what's the next big idea that you're going to tackle? Do you know?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I have a few.
I knew it.
Yeah. I'll just say that, I mean, love Relativity 6. We're good. We're here till the wheels fall off. No doubt about it. But, I just think there's so much power in distribution, as I know I'm speaking to the choir here, but like, that's where I think there's a lot of inefficiency, and there's like really interesting play. Like I don't want to sound like I'm not saying anything, but I'm not. I'll just say we'll talk about this later, but it will be on the distribution side.
Okay, yeah, perfect. You can just see the evolution of what you're doing and changing how things are distributed. I totally get that.
Yeah, exactly.
My point is, I think you always have to keep your eye on the horizon. I'm not suggesting you're not all in. You've done this for 10 years and you've gotten through the grit and the pain and all of that. And you're built something that you're super proud of, obviously. But I think for many people as entrepreneurs, it becomes part of who you are, and therefore it becomes difficult to see anything else other than what you're doing. And I don't think you're that person. So those people that are feeling that way, I love hearing them hear how you always have your eye on the horizon, whether you're there or not, or building it or not. That's irrelevant. It's about your mind always going to looking and scanning and seeing opportunity, right? So
Definitely. Yep.
There's opportunity in distribution. I would agree with that 1,000%. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Well, Alan, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. Really enjoyed hearing more about your background and some of the things you've done. I think it'll be really valuable to our listenership to hear and maybe learn from some of your experiences.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Lindsay. It's really good to talk to you and Carey.
Thanks so much for tuning in to the Insurance Refocused podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please be sure to hit subscribe and leave us a review so you'll never miss us. Want to learn more about how Agency Focus can help you grow your agency? Head to agency-focus.com or email Carey directly at carey@agency-focus.com. If you need to get in touch with me, feel free to shoot me an email at lindsay@agency-focus.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.